Health Watch is presented by UMass Memorial Health Care. Here, caring for you.
Welcome to Health Watch, presented by UMass Memorial Health Care. I'm here with registered dietitian Anna Palucha, and today we're talking about gluten-free diets. What is gluten and why does it bother so many people?
Gluten is actually a protein that's found in wheat, rye, and barley. And there's actually not too many people who are sensitive or can't tolerate gluten. It's actually become sort of a buzzword or a buzz concept in the nutrition world these days. And eliminating gluten from your diet is not usually necessary. However, there are some people who have gluten sensitivities or even celiac disease, and they do need to be very careful with gluten.
What's the difference between gluten sensitivity and celiac disease?
So it's interesting because gluten sensitivity and celiac disease initially present in the same way. People who have either one of those two issues will have bloating or gas or GI distress when they consume anything that contains gluten. Of course, gluten sensitivity is pretty much limited to those symptoms, so there are no long-term health effects. It's just uncomfortable or painful. With celiac disease, that's an actual autoimmune disease, and people who have celiac disease, if they eat even a small amount of gluten, can have pretty serious complications. So they get all of those symptoms, but also they have some intestinal wall damage, which can lead to nutrient deficiency and even neurological disorders.
Is there a definitive test for gluten-related health issues?
Your primary care physician can do a blood test to test for gluten sensitivity or celiac disease. Interestingly, if you eliminate gluten from your diet and then get tested, you actually won't be able to tell if you have that sensitivity. So it's important to actually be eating gluten before you get tested.
What are some of the not so obvious culprits?
When you're trying to avoid gluten in your diet, you're avoiding anything that's made from wheat, rye, or barley. So obviously that would be anything made with flour, like a pasta or a bread. Food companies, however, are isolating gluten because when they add it to food, it makes it taste better and gives it a better texture. So we sometimes find gluten in condiments or salad dressings. We can even find gluten in ice cream for deli meat, for example. So if you are gluten sensitive or you have celiac disease, it's very, very important to read food labels.
What can somebody do if they unknowingly eat gluten?
Unfortunately, there's not much you can do if you are gluten sensitive or have celiac disease and accidentally ingest gluten. You pretty much have to suffer through the symptoms and then be extra careful about your food choices the next time.